Hi, everyone. Today I want to talk about something most men wonder about, but rarely ask out loud. Does size really matter? I'm a urologist, and in this video, we're diving into what science, not myths, actually says about what women truly care about, especially as men get older. You've probably heard the saying, bigger is better. But the latest research paints a completely different picture. And here's the twist, it's not really about inches. It's about your blood flow, your hormones, and your overall confidence. Stay with me until the end, because I'll share scientific findings that even surprised many doctors, and they might just change how you think about men's health forever. Let's get started first. Let's take a look at what science actually says about the so-called ideal size. All right, let's talk about the question every guy has thought about at least once. What's the ideal size? First, let's go straight to the science. According to a large study published in the British Journal of Urology International, the average length of an erect penis is around 5.16 inches, or roughly 13.1 centimeters. That's the middle point across thousands of men from different countries. Now, only about 2% of men are significantly above that range, and the same small percentage are below. Here's what's interesting. When researchers from King's College London asked women about their preferences, the majority didn't mention a specific number at all. Instead, most women said they cared far more about overall chemistry, emotional connection, and confidence than about physical measurements. Think about that. Science is telling us that what people assume matters most usually doesn't. Another study from the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that women were more likely to describe comfort and fit as important, not necessarily size. That means, for most couples, compatibility and confidence make a bigger difference than inches ever could. And when it comes to men, there's something else worth noting. Many men over 40 worry that they've shrunk over time. But here's the truth. What usually changes isn't the size itself, it's blood flow and tissue elasticity. Both are influenced by hormone levels, lifestyle, and overall health. In other words, maintaining good cardiovascular health, exercising, sleeping well, managing stress, actually supports your performance and confidence far more effectively than chasing some number you found on the internet. So, the science is clear. There's a range, and it's perfectly normal. But what truly defines satisfaction, especially as we age, isn't size, it's health, connection, and confidence. Now that we've covered the numbers and the myths, let's move to something even more important. What actually happens to a man's body as he gets older, and why hormones and blood flow matter more than most people realize. Now that we've looked at what science says about size, let's talk about what really changes as men get older and why it's not just physical. Starting around your late 30s or early 40s, your body begins to go through small, gradual shifts. One of the biggest changes happens with your testosterone levels, the hormone that plays a key role in energy, mood, and sexual health. Research from Harvard Health shows that testosterone tends to decrease by about 1% per year after age 40. It doesn't mean something's wrong, it's simply part of the natural aging process. As testosterone slowly declines, it can affect things like blood flow, muscle tone, and libido. You might notice it takes longer to feel aroused, or that maintaining firmness isn't as easy as before. But again, that doesn't mean it's gone. It just means your body needs a little more support than it used to. Here's where lifestyle makes a huge difference. Studies have shown that regular exercise, good sleep, and stress management can significantly help balance hormones naturally. Even simple changes, like cutting down on alcohol, staying hydrated, or losing a bit of extra weight, can improve blood circulation and energy levels. And let's not forget the mental side. Confidence often changes with age too. Many men start to compare themselves to their younger selves or to unrealistic standards they see online. But confidence isn't about being 20 again. It's about understanding your body, staying healthy, and focusing on what truly matters: connection, trust, and overall well-being. So yes, things shift as we age, hormones slow down, and blood flow changes, but that doesn't define your masculinity. What defines it is how you take care of your body and your mindset. In the next part, we'll look at the other side of the story, what women actually value most as men grow older. And you might be surprised by how much of it has nothing to do with physical appearance at all. So, we've talked about hormones, blood flow, and how aging changes the male body. But here's the big question: what do women actually want? What truly matters to them as both partners grow older? Let's look at what the data says. A study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine surveyed hundreds of women and found that over 80% were satisfied with their partner's size. What mattered most wasn't the number, it was connection, confidence, and communication. Women consistently rated emotional intimacy and trust as the strongest predictors of a fulfilling physical relationship. Another fascinating study from King's College London discovered that as women age, their preferences evolve. Younger participants were more likely to focus on appearance, but women over 35 placed far greater importance on emotional safety, chemistry, and mutual comfort. In other words, the more mature the relationship becomes, the less size matters and the more presence and confidence matter. Psychologists call this the perception of value. It's the idea that attractiveness is shaped not only by physical traits, but also by how a person makes their partner feel. Confidence, humor, empathy, and attentiveness all influence that perception more strongly than any physical metric ever could. Here's the takeaway: women often remember how you made them feel, not how you measured up. That's why so many surveys point to qualities like kindness, patience, and physical health as key to lasting attraction. So when we talk about what women actually want, it's not a secret formula, it's balance. Physical health matters, but so does communication, respect, and confidence. These are the things that stay strong long after hormones start to fluctuate. And that leads us to one final truth: if you focus on your overall health, mindset, and emotional connection, you're already giving your partner what science says truly matters most. In the final part, let's bring it all together: how you can take these insights and turn them into simple, healthy habits that keep both your body and your confidence strong at any age. So, after looking at all the science, the hormones, and the psychology, here's what it really comes down to. The question was never just, how many inches? It's, how healthy are you inside and out? Because what truly matters as men age isn't chasing a perfect number or comparing yourself to others. It's maintaining your overall health, balanced hormones, good blood flow, and self-confidence. These are the foundations of both physical and emotional strength. When you take care of your body, manage your stress, and build genuine emotional connection with your partner, you're already giving them what they value most. Science proves it: confidence, empathy, and health go much further than measurements ever could. So if you're watching this and you're over 40, remember, your best years aren't behind you. They can still be strong, connected, and full of energy as long as you stay proactive and curious about your health.